Imagine an assault from the sky, so vast and relentless that it becomes hard to comprehend. Over 7,400 missiles and 3,700 Shahed drones unleashed on a single nation, Ukraine. In the realm of warfare, the scale of such aerial assaults is nothing short of staggering. Picture, if you can, the sheer number of projectiles piercing through the sky, each carrying the potential for devastation. To grasp the enormity of this, imagine a city skyline filled not with skyscrapers but thousands of missiles and drones, each a harbinger of destruction. Now let's delve a little deeper into the technology driving these assaults. The Shahed drones, a key player in this aerial onslaught, have revolutionized the battlefield. These unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, are not just simple machines. They are packed with sophisticated technology, capable of delivering precise strikes from the skies. Think of them as the eyes and the fists of the military, able to spot and strike targets with chilling accuracy. They can hover in the sky, often undetected, and unleash havoc in an instant. They have transformed the nature of warfare, making it possible to conduct large-scale operations with minimal human risk, at least for the side deploying them. But what's truly alarming about these drones and missiles is not just their quantity or their technological prowess. It's the fact that they have been used so extensively against a single nation. This is not a global war we're talking about. All these thousands of missiles and drones have been targeted at Ukraine, a country struggling to defend its sovereignty. This level of assault, this ceaseless rain of fire from the sky, is something that most of us struggle to truly comprehend. It's the kind of warfare that belongs in dystopian novels or Hollywood blockbusters. But for the people of Ukraine, it's not fiction. It's not a movie. It's their terrifying reality. This is not the plot of a dystopian novel or a Hollywood blockbuster. This is the reality for Ukraine. The sky above Ukraine has been filled with the menacing hum of drones and the terrifying whistle of incoming missiles. But how did we get here? Our story starts with the initiation of the conflict, which saw a traditional approach to warfare. However, as the conflict continued, both sides began to understand the value of the sky. Aerial assaults were first carried out using conventional aircraft. But as technological advancements surged forward, the game began to change drastically. A key turning point in the conflict was the introduction of Shahed drones. With the ability to fly undetected and carry out precise strikes, these unmanned aerial vehicles presented a new threat. They allowed for an increased volume of attacks while minimizing risk to human operators. The drones were not just used for offensive operations, but also for reconnaissance, providing invaluable information about enemy positions and movements. As the conflict continued, the scale of aerial assaults escalated. The first major missile assault marked a new phase in the conflict. Thousands of missiles were launched, raining down on Ukraine with a scale and intensity that was previously unimaginable. The missile assaults were not just sporadic, but strategically planned and executed, causing significant damage and disruption. But it wasn't just about the number of attacks. The nature of these assaults also evolved. Early in the conflict, the focus was on strategic targets such as military installations and infrastructure. But as time went on, the assaults became indiscriminate, with missiles and drones targeting residential areas and civilian populations. Throughout this conflict, the sky has become a critical battleground. The use of drones and missiles has not only increased the scale of the conflict, but also changed the nature of warfare. Traditional defenses designed to counter ground-based threats have had to adapt to this new aerial reality. While the introduction of Shahed drones and the first major missile assault were key turning points in the conflict, they are part of a larger trend. With each passing day, the conflict escalates and the sky becomes an ever more dangerous place. The drone and missile assaults have become a daily reality for the people of Ukraine. The escalation of these assaults paints a grim picture of modern warfare where the sky is no longer a safe haven but a battlefield. The consequences of these aerial assaults are devastating, both in terms of human lives and infrastructure. With each whispering drone and thunderous missile that pierces the sky, humanity is reminded of the cost of conflict. Each aerial assault, each explosion, carries with it a heavy toll. In the wake of these attacks, we see streets once bustling with life now eerily silent. Homes, schools, hospitals, structures that once stood as symbols of a thriving community, now reduced to rubble. The destruction of infrastructure is not merely a matter of brick and mortar, but a tragic erasure of the memories and history embedded within these walls. But the infrastructure is not the only casualty. The human cost is even more profound. Countless lives have been lost, and those who survive are left to navigate a world irrevocably altered by the horrors of war. Parents, children, friends, each casualty is a story cut short, a future stolen away. And for those who survive, the scars run deep both physically and mentally. The trauma of war, the loss of loved ones, the displacement from homes, these are wounds that may never fully heal. Beyond the immediate devastation, these aerial assaults have long-term implications. The destruction of infrastructure means that essential services like healthcare, education, and basic utilities are severely impacted. Rebuilding these services and structures will take years, if not decades. This, in turn, impacts the economy, leading to job losses and increased poverty. The ripple effects of these assaults will be felt long after the last drone has fallen and the final missile has exploded. Life in Ukraine has been irrevocably altered. The once vibrant squares are now graveyards of debris, the air heavy with the weight of lost futures. But amidst the rubble, the spirit of resilience shines bright. Communities band together, supporting each other in the face of adversity. They rebuild not just their homes and cities, but also their lives, piece by broken piece. The true cost of these assaults is measured not just in numbers, but in the lives disrupted and the futures destroyed. The use of drones and missiles in this conflict may be a grim preview of the future of warfare. The battlefield is changing, folks. The conflict we've been discussing is a stark illustration of that. The role of drones and missiles has been amplified, their impact undeniable. And it's not just about the number of drones or missiles used, it's about how they're used. In the Ukraine, drones were used to target military hardware, changing the dynamics of traditional warfare. This shift may signal a new norm where drones and missiles take center stage in military operations. The consequences of this shift are significant. Traditional military strategies may become obsolete, and the balance of power could shift from those with the most troops to those with the most effective drone technology. As we've seen in Ukraine, this can lead to a rapid escalation of conflict, with targets being detected and attacked within minutes. But it's not just about the speed of conflict. Drones and missiles can also bring a new level of precision to warfare. They can target specific military hardware, reducing the need for large-scale, indiscriminate bombings. This could, in theory, reduce civilian casualties. But it also raises ethical questions about the nature of warfare and the value of human life on the battlefield. Moreover, the widespread use of drones and missiles could democratize warfare, allowing smaller nations or non-state actors to pose significant threats. This could destabilize global security and force us to rethink our approach to defense and diplomacy. Indeed, the future of warfare may be dominated by unmanned machines, remote controllers, and rapid-fire decisions. This could fundamentally change the nature of conflict, making it more impersonal, more immediate, and potentially more devastating. As we look to the future, we must ask ourselves, is this the kind of warfare we want to become the norm? The scale of the aerial assaults on Ukraine is staggering and the impact devastating. As we draw this discussion to a close, let's recap the key points we've touched on. We began by examining the sheer scale of the aerial assaults, a breathtaking onslaught involving 7,400 missiles and 3,700 Shahed drones. This vast scale of aerial warfare paints a chilling picture of the intensity of the conflict. From there, we traced the chronological progression of these aerial assaults, witnessing how they evolved and escalated over time. We saw how the impact of these assaults has been profound, affecting not only the military landscape, but also the lives of countless innocents caught in the crossfire. We also explored the potential future of warfare. The use of drones and other remote technologies has dramatically altered the face of combat, challenging traditional military tactics and raising new ethical questions. As we reflect on these events, we are reminded of the devastating power of modern warfare and the importance of striving for peace.